was nice to go back in time tonight for just a little while and look at things in a way that was a little more extreme. Welcome back, everyone. This is Jason. Um, just wanted to do a quick vid with my thoughts on the show that was live after Monday Night Raw tonight. That was a little show done, hosted by, uh, sorry, I almost forgot his name for a second, Joey Styles, with his guest, Paul Heyman, called ECW Exposed. Now, the special going on this week, because they're promoting the whole free WWE network thing, and so they're adding content to try to draw more people in, which is smart. Um, so they took some time, talked about some historical things that happened in ECW that may not have been covered too much before. Some have, some haven't. And they also talked about new this week to the WWE Network. They put on 47 episodes of ECW Hardcore TV, uh, which I'm really excited about. Right along with all the stuff that they put on in the last couple months with WCW, this is the stuff that I think is really going to draw people in, because there is that percentage of wrestling fans out there that certainly are a little more nostalgic than others. People like my age group, maybe a little older, maybe a little younger, but around my age, that you know watched a lot of the ECW stuff. Um, and like I've said before, I started watching, wrestling again in, late 90s, around the time of the NWO, Goldberg, and all that stuff was like really popular. And I always heard about ECW stuff, but I had never seen a lot of it. So, when stuff like this gets on, added to the network, and I'm paying not even $10 a month, well, $10 a month, whatever, this is the stuff that makes it worthwhile. Seriously, you throw on great stuff that is certainly a big part of wrestling history. There's a little company that had a big feel to it when you're considering, who came from it. I mean, some of the stuff, yeah, okay, there was, a million chair shots, a million tables busted, and all that stuff. Maybe some people don't appreciate that stuff. The more pure wrestling fan is going to appreciate the stuff like, seeing old, Chris Benoit, um, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, and stuff like that. Stuff that they covered, some of it in tonight's special. I'm just going to go down the list, a couple, bullet points, and talk about a few of the things that they talked about. Like I mentioned, they're promoting the 47 episodes of ECW Hardcore TV that, that is new to the network now, and I'll be looking forward to that. They also highlighted a few things in the 90s, um, that were significant to fans. Was back in '95 was the return of Sabu, and that was kind of cool. They showed little footage here and there. They also talked about how Steve Austin came to ECW, and they also brought up um, Brian Pillman. And if you haven't watched it, go check it out. Excuse me, long day. Paul Heyman goes in depth talking about how he got Brian Pillman from WCW, and I don't remember exactly how he all put it, but he came to ECW from between the time that he was in WCW and WWF, and talked about contracts and all this stuff. And how Paul Heyman explained it was just mind blowing. I mean, it was. I can't even start to go through all the details of stuff. It would have taken up a whole page of notes if I would have been jotting down everything. I just jotted down his name and remembered a few key things. But yeah, funny. And then so yeah, I talked about a few of the highlights from ECW. It was a short special, so they were just talking about a couple of things. So don't get upset if like, oh, what about this guy? What about this guy? Well, that's not what this was about. And then they brought up kind of an interesting little part here, talking about current stars who would have done well in the ECW of years ago, back in the 90s. And going down the list, he mentions Brock Lesnar, Dolph Ziggler, which I can see that, because he had, I think he said he kind of compared him to the charisma of someone like Shane. Oh, God, I'm tired. I can't think of his name. It was the first ECW champ, Shane. I can picture him. I can't think of his name. I'm sorry. Going down the list, he mentioned Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and John Cena. And you're thinking like Joey Styles was very surprised that Paul Heyman brought up John Cena, and it wasn't to like kiss his ass or anything. It was simply a thought of his work ethic. And yeah, whether you love him or hate him, yeah, you do have to admit John Cena works hard. He's the first one there, he's the last one there, he's there all the time. He works hard. So just in that sense, he would have fit in well. Okay, not like he's some hardcore icon. Although I think some people have actually called him that. But anyways, then they also talked about some other highlights and some other aspects of ECW. One mentioning the Malenko Guerrero Classic of '95. And then they showed some highlights of the match, them wrestling, and watch it happen again. No, but it put a lump in my throat for a while looking at this. It's like you think back how tragic it is. It really is tragic that Eddie Guerrero is gone. As far as like true wrestling talent, coming from a breed like ECW, then going on to WCW, and then the WWE. There's few that can stand up to that, really. And it showed an old interview with Guerrero and an interview with Malenko talking about their relationship and stuff, and their time in ECW. So yeah, that was cool. And then it also talked about the comedy aspect, along with how extreme they were, bringing all the goofy weapons in and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and they also touched on the Dudley Boys and Paul Heyman giving them the compliment of was it Paul or was it Joey? Now I can't remember, but nonetheless, one of them, if not both of them, said that they're the greatest wrestling tag team of all time. And And they also brought up the fact that um, old diehard wrestling fans get upset because, in the same light, a lot of people think that the Road Warriors are the greatest tag team of all times. And he said this is the part where all the, I think he said all the Road Warriors fans come out of the woodwork and start cursing him out, something to that effect. So yeah, um, and then they talked about a couple other odd little things here and there. I think there was a joke made that the WWE made about, because one of their um, ECW's pay per views was called WrestlePalooza, I think, something like that. Um, and so they they made uh, a promo advertising for an extreme puppy palooza, and they showed all these puppies running around and the cutest, the most dangerous, just oh my god, it was funny, we've got a lot of cats, so I got a kick out of it, you know, your hardcore wrestling fan is gonna be like, I can't believe they put that on there, shame on them. It's like, okay, come on, they're poking a little fun at it, it's all they were doing. So just, it's not worth losing sleep over. So yeah, I just wanted to, quick give my thoughts on this. Didn't want to do a huge long special on it because the special itself wasn't that long. I think it was only like a half an hour long. I don't think it was an hour long, but nonetheless, it was great. Showed some highlights from over the ECW years. Um, oh, and they also covered some questions from fans, which was nice. Some of them were simple. Some of them were a little more, oh, they asked that really, and brought a couple things to light. Not a lot of new stuff that fans hadn't heard before, but like I said, it was short and sweet. If you're an ECW fan, go check it out. It's not a very long special. It was cool seeing Joey Styles and Paul Heyman going back and forth, taking little jabs at each other. Uh, you know, talking about the good old days and whatnot. And the last thing I'm going to say about this is it was nice that, I mean, obviously, this is done by the WWE. Um, it seemed like they at least had a little freedom with it because, they let Heyman talk about what he wanted to talk about. They let Joey talk about what they wanted to talk about. And I say that specifically because he brought up guys like CM Punk and stuff like that. So yeah, that was a little shocking, a little surprised because they're doing a lot of censorship lately, but it is what it is. There's some bad blood there, so whatever. Um, so yeah, cute little special. Um, did you watch it? Are you excited about all the new ECW content on the WWE network for $9.99? LOL. Yeah, put it in the comments below. Let me know what you think. I'm excited about it. When I, get that urge to like have a ECW marathon and go check stuff out. Yeah, I thought it was nice that they finally added this because um, a friend of mine, Dizzy from the Ringside Ramblers. Sorry, I'm going on and on and on about this. Dizzy from the Ringside Ramblers told me that they had another podcast that they're doing, and I'm sorry I can't remember all the details of it. They're doing these reviews of the ECW pay-per-views for another podcast site. And they said it was very difficult because they don't have the content to watch between the pay-per-views that they're doing, other than the fact of, oh, this match was great, this happened, this happened, this happened. They said it was very difficult because well, they reviewed this pay-per-view, and then they had this pay-per-view and someone else was champ, and they don't know what happened in between. Well, now on the network, they've got all these episodes of the Hardcore TV, which explains, I don't know, 47 episodes, so that's almost a year's worth of episodes, I'm guessing. Um, I'm not sure what year it starts. I didn't look at all the details that are on there. I just, saw that they are all on there now. I just wanted a quick look. So, from what pay-per-view special to what pay-per-view special it goes to, I don't know. But um, so yeah, at least you can, if you go back, look at a certain pay-per-view, you can watch some episodes leading up to the next one now. So that's kind of nice to go check out. So yeah, hopefully in the future they'll be adding more. I mean, obviously they don't want to throw everything on at once. They hold stuff back so that they can advertise stuff for the future. Because if they throw it all on at once, then there's nothing new to talk about, right? So it's a business thing. I get it. Um, so that's my thoughts on it. I think it's pretty cool. Put your comments below. Let me know what you think. And thanks for watching, guys.